I woke up and looked at the clock. 4:30 in the morning again. Why do I keep waking up at the same time? I knew I wouldn't be able to go back to sleep, so I turned on my laptop. I logged into Netflix and started watching a scary movie. When it was about 6:30, I started getting ready for school. I pulled on my black pierced veil sweater and some skinny jeans and Converse. I brushed my long, dark brown hair. I looked around for my beanie. When I found it, I put it on. I started to put on my makeup, and when I was done, I went downstairs to make breakfast. My parents only come by the house once every month, so I pretty much have the house to myself. While the waffles were cooking, I decided to try it again. Got out a candle and set it on the dining room table. I just sat there and stared at it. I was concentrating on the candle. The candle caught fire without anybody lighting it. Ever since I was little, I was able to do strange things. My mother can do these things too, but we keep it a secret from my father. He doesn't know we can do these things. My mother told me we could do much more than think just little tricks, but she won't tell me how. After 8, I headed out the door. It was the beginning of October. The air was cold, and it smelled beautiful outside. I walked past the woods, while I was passing, I just stared at it as if I was waiting for it to swallow me whole. Made it to school, and the cheerleaders were out there practicing. One of them was having a makeout session with a football player near the side of the school. I walked to my classroom and sat down on an empty seat in the back. After the bell rang, our teacher started talking. Class, we have a new student in our class. This is Jeff. He's not really new, he just got his schedule changed. I looked at the guy. He wasn't bad looking. He had really dark brown shaggy hair, his bangs swept across his face. He wore a band t-shirt and dark skinny jeans. The teacher sat him to the desk next to mine. We both made eye contact. I studied him, and when I realized I was staring, I quickly looked away. The bell rang for lunch. I walked outside to eat my lunch. I sat at a table alone, and it was cold, and there wasn't many people, but I didn't mind. I took out my earbuds from my pocket and listened to the final episode by Asking Alexandria. Just when the song ended, I looked up and saw that the new kid, sitting 2 tables down from me. He didn't have his lunch, and he just sat there. I looked down at my phone, put on another song. My screen went black. What the hell? I looked up from my phone, and the kid was gone. I shrugged it off. I was mostly concerned about my phone at the time. The screen finally came back on. The bell rang, and I went to my fourth period class. When it was time to go, I walked home, and I put my earbuds in and listened to Can You Feel My Heart by Bring Me the Horizon. I turned around to see that kid walking 10 feet behind me. I've never really seen him walk over here before. His head was up, but you could still see his dark, shaggy hair poking out. He ran to the woods, and I never saw him the rest of the way home. When I got home, there was $100 on the table with a note saying, I came by to check the house. If you can go to the mall and if you want and buy something. Me and your father are going on a long business trip than usual, so we won't be back until Thanksgiving. I love you a whole lot. Love, Mommy. I grabbed the $100 and headed out the door. I grabbed my car keys and walked to the door. I got to my car and pulled out of the driveway. I'm 15 with my learner's permit, but I make sure I drive carefully so I don't get pulled over for driving without an adult. When I got to the mall, I went to Hot Topic, and I was looking around at the band shirts when I turned around and saw that kid again. He was right next to me looking at the shirts. Hey, he said in a raspy voice. Oh, hi. I said, a little surprised that he actually talked to me. You like these bands? He asked. I love them. He looked up at all the shirts. Favorite? Well, I like Pierce the Veil, Singing the Sirens, and Asking Alexandria. Those bands, pretty much. I never got a chance to know your name, he said, looking at my red and black nails. Oh, I'm Alex. Jeff, he replied. We just walked around looking at those things and talking. Picked out a Bring Me the Horizon shirt and a Pierce the Veil shirt. I got one Sleeping with Siren sweater. I got a few Nightmare Before Christmas jewelries and Black Heat perfume. Jeff got one Sleeping with Siren shirt, a Bring Me the Horizon jacket, and an Asking Alexandria pin. When we checked out, we walked and talked for a while. How come you're so quiet? He asked me, looking forward. I just don't like to talk very much, I replied. Why are you quiet? Why are you quiet? I asked him. No one talks to me. Oh. What time is it? I looked down at my phone. 7:30, I replied. Shit, I have to go. See you at school. See ya, I said as he ran down the escalator. When I got home, I changed into my pajamas and went to bed for tomorrow. Would be Saturday. I woke up at 7 in the morning. It was cold and dark outside. It's been like this for the 4 days. I liked it though. I put on my skinny jeans and my New Bermuda Horizon shirt. I slipped on my Converse and beanie and headed outside. I had decided to go walking through the woods since it felt so good outside. While I was walking, I was thinking about Jeff and how he seems to be everywhere I was. He was kind of cute. Why did he have to leave so fast, though? Snap! I heard a twig snap. I turned around. There was nothing there. And I kept on walking, and I heard someone laughing. I turned around to see a woman in a black dress. Her eyes were completely black, and she had pale skin and black hair. What worried me is that she had a knife in her hand. Silly girl. Don't you know you're not supposed to walk in the woods alone? She said in a disgusting tone. Who are you? I said in a frightened whisper, slowly stepping back. I'm Jane, and I'm going to, let's see, kill you. She raised her knife. I thought fast and ran. I ran so far into the woods, I had no idea where I was. I couldn't scream for no one would hear me and Jane would attack. I looked behind me and saw no one. I didn't take any chances, though. All of a sudden, I tripped over a tree root. I hit the ground hard. I got up on my feet, but when I looked up, there she was right in front of me. I let out an ear-piercing scream. No one can hear you, she said, grabbing me from behind, putting her hand over my mouth.